I'm not opposed to Hollywood East, but that's gonna turn people against it. Thank you.
My name is Rick Cohn. I'm the chairman of the Downtown Neighborhood Association in Downtown Historic Watch Group. And we are absolutely in favor of this. Make sure that everyone knows, everyone in the neighborhood, the residents are in favor of this. And as a merchant, speaking as a merchant who also has a business downtown, I think it's a plus situation which will draw attention to bringing people from the waterfront to the downtown area, and so people can take picture ops and all kinds of things. I think it's just a plus situation, but just to restate that the neighborhood is in support of having this done. Thank you.
Make comments to the...
Yeah, I'd like to respond. I'm with them.
Okay.
So I'm Tom Black. I'm Dave. I'm one of the managing partners of the studio. Just to give you a quick snapshot of how, where did they get this crazy idea at? About a month and a half ago, after we had signed the Hollywood sign up, and got the rights to the sign out of Hollywood. The Hollywood sign is the most iconic symbol out of Hollywood worldwide. It's just an incredible thing. And in fact, when we had the press release that we had signed the rights to the sign, we got calls from all over the world about it, from Spain, Italy, within hours. It was really quite extraordinary. But the thing that was most surprising was when we had the press conference down on the waterfront in front of the Mayflower with the rock house at the side, and we had an 8-foot version of the sign. And we had some of the photo op stuff going on. What was happening is the buses were getting in with the tourists and the kids, and everybody's running around. But what was happening is that we were moving around with the sign to find better places to take pictures. What was happening is that we started to get a thing of ducks following us. There were hundreds of kids and people following us. And what was happening is the minute we would stop, all of a sudden everybody would scramble to get their picture taken in front of the sign. And so we're going, this is the craziest thing you've ever seen. You got the rock over here, you got the Mayflower over here, and they're following a sign around town. And we go up a hill, they all come up a hill. They come down here, they all come down a hill. So then you fast forward about a week or so later, and we're meeting with the city manager, and some of the folks about what we can contribute to try to protect what's going on downtown, because people are losing their shops and they can't get people off the waterfront. And so David throws out, maybe we could get the sign down there, because at least for the summer we'd be able to pull people up. And so you see, that's how the genesis came, and then we started to work it through, and then we wound up getting a sculptor. So it is a work of art. Art is a funny thing, and we might have difference of opinion, but what you have in this situation is you have a very unusual combination. You actually have two icons filling the same space. And it is a spectacular shot. And what's going to happen is this is going to go worldwide in a flash, and sort of cause attention to what's going on in Massachusetts, which it's becoming the news center for media in the United States. Of course, for us, what's most exciting about it is that we know that it will pull people off. And I think we had a good discussion about it in the historic committee the other night, because you're going to have an opinion about this one way or the other. I mean, everybody's going to see this sign. There's not going to be a supper table in town where people aren't talking about it. And everybody's going to have an opinion about it. But how often do you really get a chance to have an opinion on something that it's okay to be on opposite sides? Because I don't even know quite how I feel about it, except I know that people are going to come up to see it. And at that point, they're going to come and buy a cup of coffee, they're going to buy a shirt, and for 2 or 3 months, gosh, what a fun thing. And I'm going to tell you something, the neat thing about it is in 15, 20 years, you will talk to people who proposed at that sign, who decided to get married at that sign. Things are going to happen at that sign this summer that will forever be woven in people's lives. So for 2 months, it's going to be a lot of fun. And so that's kind of how an idea like that kind of gets born and gets birthed. And we've been surprised at how many people really got it early.
Curiosity factor.
Pardon?
The curiosity factor.
Yeah, but that's how we got here with that idea anyway.
I think probably one person from the Historic Commission summed it up best. Everybody knows Jim Baker. He's been a historian in town for many years. I believe he used the term, it's just quirky enough to be interesting. So it's something that certainly, if you've been to California and you're standing there in the streets in Hollywood and you have the background behind you, there's people everywhere taking pictures down Main Street with the Hollywood sign behind them. It's something that will draw interest up to the hill and bring people up the street, and really bring interest to a historic building, which hopefully someday is going to be preserved to its original status, and that.
Right.
And any approval, if we were to grant approval, would obviously be subject to the building inspector. I mean, this structure obviously needs to have a building permit to go up, I would assume. Anything further?
I'm just apprehensive of the size and the scale of this sign. I feel that the sign may not be appropriate in such a historical district of Plymouth. The sign's next to this 1827 courthouse. It's next to the burial ground. But then I question my own thoughts because the Historical Society is all in favor of it. So how can I go against, their decision? So I think I would be apt to vote for the approval of this sign.
We're in the process of leasing this to the town. And usually, you're right, the selectmen don't weigh in on this, but really they're the representatives of the town. And so I think it's important to make sure they're okay with it. So I mean, by the way, I actually, no offense, I think it's kind of gawky too. And personally, if it wasn't all the support here, of all these people that want it, I wouldn't put it up there. But I think you have made very meritorious arguments about attracting business. I wouldn't put it in my front yard.
Right.
We're actually talking with the town about possible uses for the and helping them with the whole courthouse situation. So we would actually be involved on the other side of that discussion too, because we might be one of the ones that might be talking to them about what to do with the courthouse.
So there's a motion to be made?
Yeah. I'll make a motion to allow this sign through the period of now until October 1st, 2008, until as long as we receive the okay by the zoning board. And was there anything else?
Building inspector.
Building inspector, building department. That we meet the insurance needs, and that we revisit it come October 1st, 2008.
And approval.
Is there a second on that?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
One opposed, myself. The motion does carry 2-1.